My name is Leif Skartland II, and I play drums for Jeremy Camp, and I have for the last 17 years. I also give drum lessons. I started a company called Drumcast Live, where you can get one-on-one lessons through Skype. And I have a production company in Tennessee. It's called Skartland Productions, where I do commercials and documentaries and music videos. So it keeps me pretty busy. Being a dad has changed everything in my life. I have a 7-year-old son and a 3-month-old daughter now. And you just kind of look at life different. Everyone kind of says that. But when something just changes your life for the good in this way, it just affects everything. So creatively, I don't have as much time. Where I would sometimes just pull all-nighters if something was due, or I just get in a mode. You know how like creatively you just get in a flow and it's like nothing's gonna stop you, because if you stop, you kind of break that flow. Well, when the kids run in, they want to hug, they want to tell you something they just drew, show you stuff, it's just like, you gotta stop, And my office is in my house, so it's a little outside, it's above the garage, there's a door I can close. And they know not to come in when the door's closed. But, when they gotta show me something super important, they just still come in. Man, I live off my iCal. Like, the scheduling is a way I can stay creative in the time I'm given. Knowing what's coming up, what's due, how much time of the day I'll have, especially with the kids' schedule, and my touring schedule. So I still tour mainly on the weekends, and then during the week I get to run my own business, a production company. So I can make my own hours that way, but yeah, my wife and I share a calendar, and it's like making sure we got to block off time for family. Because it's easy just to like, oh, I'm available that day and this day and these hours, and then pretty soon it's like, oh, I haven't seen my family today, and like, we need to play outside. Like, Kate and I need to go play baseball out front. And so my wife is very gracious as we're trying to figure this out, keeps me on point on it, but then it's like sometimes things has to happen, and so it's a learning curve, and it's okay to just stumble through it. Like, I think it's as long as we give each other grace. This is all our first time at life, so the more grace you can show, the better. And Bianca, my wife, is great at that. I love having my family come to shows. We just played last night in San Diego, and my family was there, and having my wife and 2 kids there. My 3-month-old had these big cones on to protect her ears, and then my son was singing along to the songs, and I could see him backstage. So anytime I look over, they're like staring at me, smiling, and like waving, and you just know like your people are there, like to support you. And so it's those shows that they're there are just different, and I find myself thinking about them more during the show, which makes my heart glad. I think having a family has motivated me more in certain areas. Sometimes it's creative, and then other times it's just logical. Like, there's bills now that need to be paid, and you got to take certain jobs when you can, based on what's coming up. You feel pressure. You feel, sometimes it's good. It's responsibility, so responsibility part's good, but you also feel certain pressure, and so the tendency could be to let that steal some of your joy or some of your creativeness, but it doesn't need to. Like, that could be the practical side. Hey, stuff needs to get done. You need to go out on tour, and it's a bummer to be away from them. It's just changed the way I have to prioritize my time, and they're worth prioritizing for.
Alright, slate it. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
That was a good slate.
Such a good slate.